So let's get started. I think what I'm going to do for the poppies is we're going to practice with one of these round brushes. Let me just get my supplies here. I'm going to use the round number 8 for this. And I might use this dagger brush also. I love the dagger brush. So I'm going to get that out. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to start practicing the petal shapes. So I'm going to mix up the color here. And I'm just going to practice painting these triangular petal shapes. Just going to warm up my hand a little bit and play around with the colors. I want to have a little bit of variety here. I don't want it to all be the same color. So I want a couple of different, like one yellow and one more orangey yellow. So we've got that. I'm going to try it with the dagger brush and see how that looks. The dagger brush is a really interesting brush. It's got a wide angle to it, but you can also do really fine points with it. It's a really versatile brush, actually. It's one of my favorites. So actually, I like the way the dagger brush is making these petal shapes. So you can start with the point here and then just fan it out quickly. So I'm going to use the dagger brush for my petals and alternate between these two colors here. I think that's pretty nice. And before I paint on the painting, I'm going to do a quick, let's see, I'm going to show you my poppy sketches here. So I did some sketches of poppies. I did a whole page of these. And it was just way too warmed up to the flower. And I played around with the shapes and how to exaggerate the petals and make them feel more fluid and more free. And I liked the idea of making the leaves a little bit more loose, more almost like kelp or seaweed. So I'm gonna take this page of sketches that I did and use this as inspiration for one of my poppies paintings. So I'm just gonna keep this off to the side and keep this as a general guide. So I think I'm gonna use my pastel and I'm gonna take one of my sketches and I'm just gonna follow the idea from the sketch and I'm just gonna just use this chalk, basically. It's basically like chalk, almost like chalk. Just lock in the shape, and then I might add a little bud up to the side because that's always nice. And you can work larger. This is a smaller sheet size, but I'm just doing this on the small size because it does go fast and it's fun to work small like this. So I'm going to take this idea of the dagger brush, and I'm just going to mostly fill it in with water. I'm going to paint these a few different ways. So I have mostly water down, and I'm just going to grab some of my colors here, drop it in, We're letting the water do most of the work. And you want to keep contrast. Just find ways to create the contrast. So I like the way this one's looking. I'm just going to let this one dry now. So while this one is drying, I'm going to do another one. So I'm going to put this aside. And this time I'm not going to use the chalk. I'm just going to start with the petal shapes. And I'm going to kind of go across. So you can see you're getting a couple of different types of looks between the first painting and the second one. That's why it's so fun to work in a group so you can experiment. So we've got some petal shapes here. Okay, so I'm gonna let this one dry and let's come back to this one. Now you can see they look completely different. It's a different technique. I like the one on the left better, but this is also a different way of doing things. So while this is still dry, I'm just gonna paint in the center point. And I'm also gonna work on the stems. I don't want my green to be super bright, so I'm toning it down. More of a gray green. The dagger brush is pretty amazing because you do all these sticks and pins with it. Have you guys ever tried this brush before? Look how it does those thicks and thins. So I can't really work on this now until it's completely dry. So I'm going to put this one aside and I'm going to come back to this one. And I'm going to do something similar.